Absolutely not. That's not going to happen. But what is going to happen is I'm going to start in 3, 2,
2,
1.
1. Oh.
Oh, hey everybody.
Hello. Hello.
Welcome
Hello.
back.
Hello, hello.
It's Tuesday, December the 12th. It's time for one of the last live streams that you're going to see in the 2023 year. Because just as a little housekeeping note, we will have a live stream next week, Thursday, or no, what am I talking about? Tuesday, as you normally would see. And then the following week, we will be out. And we're going to remind y'all again next week that we're going to be out the week of the, what is it, like the 25th through, I don't know, I think we come back on the 2nd. And I don't know if we're going to do a live stream that day either. We'll just be getting back from a long holiday break. So we'll keep you posted on all that. And then we should be starting our new streaming schedule sometime in the new year. No details to talk about there yet, but as soon as we get those, we'll start talking about them. Okay, let's go ahead and do the thing where we discuss. Let's talk about what the heck happened last week. All right, well, we had our regularly scheduled streaming thing, but we didn't have a Spanish live stream, and that's because JC was doing a creative session. JC,
Yep.
what'd you do for your creative session last week?
Okay, let me share this here. And yeah, was fun. The idea was create a checkpoint map. Oops, one moment. Here, this is the sketch I did. This checkpoint map using a component, reusable component, so reusable component. So the idea start here. Let me one moment. Here, yes. With this star, where we create a simple machine to activate the star, and then using nested board and nested input, we add the star to these wings, no? And the way that with this machine, this input, we can change different things about these wins, this point, and create different option. No, for example, we can select. Let me play the machine. We can activate these wings like this, or deactivate. We can add the number of the stars. No, we can change the type. For example, this checkpoint is for a simple battle. Have only one detail, but we can change for one with 3 detail, and this can be, I don't know, the boss battle or something like this. And then we can change the number too. With this, let's go to stop this, and let's go to the main board. And here you can add the different it's the same, no? Input that board here, duplicate, and for each of these board you can see here the nested input, so you can configure each of these points. For example, uh, the first one, you can see now the machine is playing. You can see that is the type 1. Here is the value 0 is the type 1. I can change this for type 2, so it's a boss battle. I can change the number. In this case, it's 0 because it's the first one. And I can add the stars I want. So the idea is, for example, you finish the level, the 0 level, and you win 3 stars, no? So you go to the checkpoint map, and we add in this ad board, we add an animation about the stroke that move in this direction. So when we are in the checkpoint map, and we are going to go to the next level, we can activate this animation and then jump to the level. So when we finish the level, go back to this map, and now this first level is activate like this, and have the number of the star we win in that level. I don't know, maybe 2, and was a simple battle. But the next battle is a boss battle, is the 2 level. So to jump to the level, we activate the next animation and jump to the level, no? And then when we finish the level, we go back to this map. And here what happened is that this level is activated because we finish, have the number of the star we have because it's the boss. Maybe we win only 1. And that's it. The same with the rest. So this is the idea. You can, with all these inputs, you can configure it, these checkpoints depend of the level, depending on the number, or depending on the number of stars you win in the level. So very interesting. Create all these using the same component. Yeah.
Now, I'm just going to say, whoever was playing this game, there was a definite fall off in performance. I can see it in the star level. The levels are just getting harder and harder as you go.
Yeah.
This is super cool. It's like it's like one of those roguelite things for like Slay the Spire, or trying to think of some of the other games. There was this cool hockey game that came out that was like had one of those maps. Anyways, if you want to see the replay of all of that and see how JC built that, I put a link in the chat so you can go over there and check it out. It was a super cool creative session. All right, what do we got going on this week? Well, tomorrow we got a Spanish live stream happening. That's going to be at 10 a.m. Central. And then right after that, Zach will be doing a creative session. Zach, what do you do in your creative session on tomorrow?
So I think I'm actually going to slightly change the schedule. Sorry for the mess. Just go just an hour before, so at the same time.
Okay.
Because I had a last minute meeting. I totally forgot I needed to attend. But I'm going to make a wall gallery of cats in iOS, and I'm going to do it with the help of Robert's Rive file. And so if you haven't seen, wait, I got this. I put out a tweet of or post or whatever of the app that we'll be building tomorrow using the new out-of-band assets feature that just released on iOS runtime. And yeah, we've just got a wall gallery of cats that you can swipe and change all of them. We were chatting about it a bit before this, about how it could be used to be like a kind of clue screen for like an escape room. Like, oh, you align like dynamic images, and then you just have to align the clues based on the images and stuff. And so it was kind of a start of that conversation, but much later down the line. So anyway,
yes, maybe in the new year, maybe your next creative session, we can get all that prepared.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So yeah, if you want to learn how to use the new out-of-band assets feature, not just for SwiftUI, but just in general, you can join the live stream tomorrow.
So that'll be tomorrow at 10 a.m. So you get your choice of content, either the Spanish live stream or Zach's creative session. That'll be same place, same bat channel, all that. All right. Now, usually we talk about new releases, but we had an early question dropped in the chat, and I think it's worth talking about. So let's ask the question. Is there a game character design and rigging video that shows how to use Rive with the Fold or any supported game engines? I don't think so. I don't think we actually have done a full like character animation, like state machine setup tutorial for all the different things like attacking and jumping and running and doing all that. Maybe this is something that we can do in the future. I think at some point we'll probably get around to this, because it doesn't matter if you go to Default or you go to Unity or you go to any of these places. Like the way that you're going to set up the character and the state machine is all going to be the same. But the implementation in Default, I'm assuming, would be different than something like Unity or C++. Zach, is that true, or was I just like making things up? I was making things up, but it sounded right.
Yeah. There are some runtimes like out of our control that kind of need to rev our C++ runtime and take it and run with it, but we don't have too many of those.
Okay. There are some character animation tutorials on our channel, some basic rigging stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would go and check out. Go and look at our the playlist. What is it called? I have forgotten. That is the wrong place. It is As I Kill Time. Go to the channel. Look at the playlist. If you look at Rive Unplugged, the Rive Unplugged playlist has a bunch of random projects and things like that in it, and there are a number of like character rigging and character animation tutorials in there that you can check out. So until we get this specific how to make characters for games, that'll kind of hold you over till then. Okay, now let's talk about the new releases. Well, there was only one new release, and Zach just kind of touched on it. Out-of-band assets feature is supported in the iOS runtime. Zach, what is out-of-band assets, and why should we care?
Yeah, this is a good question. Yeah, I probably should have prefaced that in the when I was talking about the tweet. So out-of-band assets is kind of what we're referring to, this feature of being able to load in images and or fonts and other potential content in the future dynamically at runtime rather than having it embedded in the Rive file. So previous to this feature, what you would do is, for example, if you had raster images, you had fonts, if you were using the new text feature, Rive text feature, you would notice maybe that your Rive file was a little larger than usual because we'd have to package the entire font, or if you had a bunch of images, it would potentially blow up the Rive file size. And normally these just had to be embedded in the Rive file because that's how our runtimes loaded it. But now with this out-of-band assets feature, you can mark an asset in your Rive file as referenced. And what that means is when you export your Rive file, that asset will no longer be embedded in the Rive. So that means your Rive file will go down considerably in size, especially with packaging whole fonts. And at runtime, you can handle loading in these assets dynamically when the Rive file is loaded in. So, for example, if you've got an image or a font that you're already packaging in with your application and is part of your bundle, you can just load that in using our runtime and tell the Rive file, like, hey, this is the image from my application I want to use. And so you save time on, or you save resources on the Rive file, and you have the option to dynamically switch out your images too. So, if you had an image that you wanted to replace based on some other app logic, you could do that later in your app. So it's a pretty convenient and very, what is it? Swift's knife thing. What is that?
I don't know. That sounds cool.
The like.
Oh, Switch Army knife?
Yeah, Switch Army knife.
No. Sorry.
Kind of thing.
Swiss Army knife, not Switch Army knife.
Swiss Army knife of a feature for runtime. So, yeah.
I've heard that that's one of the best thing that the Swiss brought to us was the Swiss Army knife. I don't actually know if that's true. Yeah, so it makes your file smaller and more dynamic. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so that was released recently. No other releases just yet, but we should have something coming fairly soon. So keep an eye out on that. Now, this is the part where I tell you to join our Discord. And most of you are already there, but if you're not, I put a link in chat so you can click on that and go ahead and sign up, where you can ask any questions, chat with the community, and stay up to date with all of our latest releases. Now, if you want to get more information on what exactly has been released, when it's been released, you can always go to rive.app/changelog to see the full changelog, date breakdown and everything that's been released. Okay, I feel like I'm out of breath. Man, this is my favorite part. It's when Pedro takes over and does
Pedro's Picks of the Week.
Yep, it's time for Pedro's Picks of the Week, where Pedro goes through all the coolest community files that showed up last week. So, Pedro, take it away.
Okay, we are going to start with this RPG class selection by Dinger. And it's really nice because it has this menu here where you can select the kind of player you want. And
It's so cool.
I really like this one.
this is really funny. I like this. It's like I was saying Peter Pan, not Peter Pan, the other one. Robin Hood.
Robin Hood.
Yeah.
The other one.
The other one.
Yes, because Robin Hood and Peter Pan
Yes.
use the same costume. I don't know.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
Weren't Peter Pan and Robin Hood both Disney IPs?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me tell you. So you've seen those? Have you seen those? Like, I don't know if they're tweets or videos or whatever, showing off like the reused animations from like.
Yes.
Yeah.
They got to doing Robin Hood and we're like, man, we need a main character real quick. We really like green. Peter Pan? Nah, dude, this is Robin Hood. We'll make him a fox.
So perhaps they use solos for that. They
Yeah.
change
Yes.
just the face.
Yes.
Okay. The next one is so this. If you have been a freelancer, you know about this when a client want something good, cheap, and fast, and you
Yeah.
have to answer this client that only two options are available. So you can be good and cheap. So you are going to be slow. You can be good and fast. So you have to pay a lot. Or for example, you can be fast and cheap. So of course, the thing is not going to be really, really good. So it's really nice because it has this interaction, and I find it useful even for sending to the client. If you are a freelancer, I think this is something you can use to educate your clients.
I wonder what the emoji would be for good, cheap, and fast.
That would be nice to have everything. I guess it will be like this 3 times. The same icon 3 times. Okay, next one is this.
I like this one.
Yes, it's really fun because you can open the window and every window has like a little character behind with the eyes following. And you can even close and open the windows. It has like the character going and appearing again.
Yeah, that is cool.
It's very fun, and I like the colors. It's like it has this combination of colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's combination between vector and raster, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's like a TV show. You have the characters like more vector, and
Yeah.
the background is more bitmap.
This is like a creepy, like the one down here, this little bat. I think that's a bat. I'm not sure. It's like a really creepy My Neighbor Totoro, you know?
You think? What? This?
The-
No, the bottom left one.
This? No, this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like,
It's got the same ears, the same belly pattern. Like,
yes, could be that. But like a horror Totoro.
yeah, exactly. Creepy one.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Next one is not only a one, is all the profile of this user because it has a lot of interesting animations. We can, for example, I really like this car.
Ah, yes.
That car has a hat. Can you believe that?
No, the
I know
car
why you
is,
liked it.
the car is a hat.
The car is. This other one is really nice too. I
Yeah.
like the multi scroll of the planets to make
Yeah.
the 3D effect.
And this slow motion part is cool. Yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
This is another one. I don't know. I guess this is for some project because all the animations has the same format. Is gradient.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's a website or something or an app.
Yeah, the animation is great, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. Good
It
timing. Yeah.
has this other one.
Oh my god.
I love
Uh,
the chips here.
the chips.
Again, do I even need to say it? It's a bouncing hat, so I can
Yes.
see why you love it.
Yes, I can avoid that. And this is other one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, if only they'd turn that chemistry set into a hat, man, that would really be something.
And I think we saw this before, but it's
Yeah.
so good. I really like this.
Yeah, this is really nice animation.
Yes, it has a bunch of it.
I like the dance. Like yes, I did this one.
The
Yeah,
fingers.
this is so cute.
Yes, the finger thing is really nice. This one. Really well done. All the animation is.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh God, I love that the little booster animation on the
Yeah.
down there. That is so good.
Yeah. Yeah, have a lot of details. Eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like this waiting. It's like when you are watching Netflix or something like that and it stops because it's not loading the file. And you had that. But I love the animation and what it's making with the hands because hands are very difficult to animate. And
Yes.
I think they are working in all the poses. This one is incredible. This thing of the fingers.
What
Yeah.
is that reaction? What is that called?
This one is
Tickle me?
Excited.
Oh, excite. Okay, yeah.
Okay, we are going for the next one. I'm looking for that. Okay, this is
I
from
love that.
Billy, and I really like that. It's a Christmas card, and every character has a little reaction when I click. This one has.
I love that.
Mhm.
The second is amazing.
The second. I this one.
This,
Here
yeah.
yeah. It has a lot of work. I mean, it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they went with quantizing too to just make it a little bit more like old school looking, like frame by framey.
Yeah.
This reminds me a lot of something you would have seen on Flash.
Yes.
Yeah. Remember the app? What is the name? The app. Oh,
What?
that you have different guys and you click and each guy make a sound.
Yes. And you could make like a whole song with it or whatever.
Yes, it was
Yes.
amazing.
Mhm.
I don't remember the name, but it was amazing, man.
I
That's a QR code too.
Yes. I wonder what's it for.
The QR code.
Yeah.
All right, I have to see it. Does it work?
I don't know. I guess it's a website.
I'm gonna find
Oh
out.
yeah. Toasty animation. Oh, and it's got that on the website. That's cool.
Okay. For me, it reminds me the doodles. These doodles Google makes for the homepage sometimes dedicated to
Oh
some
yeah.
event or something. For example, this is like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sound. We need sound here.
Yes.
We need sound.
Asking for it.
God, if only that was being worked on, that would be so awesome.
It will be.
Okay, next one is this illustration. I guess this is for a website. And I think it's not interactive. Just it has a boolean here, but I don't know if it's
I guess it's a hover that when you hover something happens, but
but I
Maybe
like
they just haven't hooked it up yet.
And for example, this little detail here,
Oh, EKG machine.
What's the name in English?
EKG.
EKG.
Now, what those 3 letters stand for, I don't know. Electronic.
Electrocardio-
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Electrical.
Electrocardiogram. Is not.
Is it?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's not.
It's got to be graph, right?
Okay, next one is perfect for this week. Is this Christmas
Nice.
greeting card?
Nice. Yeah.
And the interesting thing, the design is so nice and beautiful. The interesting thing is almost all the illustration has an interaction. For example, if I click here
Oh.
Yeah.
or here,
Yeah, everything.
we change the design colors. Here I have disorder. Interaction is like this the win and the
Yeah. You see what happened? No, that is cool. The tree. You have the ball. This is a small ball, and then
I
the,
love
the
that.
bed,
That
you have
is
the big ball.
great.
That's
That
nice.
is
Awesome.
yeah.
I like the win effect with lines. Is so nice.
And
Here-
here in the window, there is a guy in the window. It's a person.
Wait, there's a guy in the window.
Yeah. If you go to the
Yeah, I
window,
think so.
to
Is
the
it
window of
Santa?
the house, one here and another in the other. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a lot of a lot of small animation. That,
Yeah, it's filled with small interactions all
Yeah.
over.
It's like these calendars that had chocolates.
yes.
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 You know they make those with beer, right? Those advent calendars.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, they make them with beer. Apparently, people think I really like beer, and I do really like beer. I got 3 beer advent calendars last year, and I'm still trying to drink through them. I'm like, dude, I like beer, but not that much.
I love this opening the box.
Like,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Wow.
Yes,
Detail.
it's really great. I love this card. And here is the last one. And I like the design.
Oh, you got to switch it.
Oh, sorry.
yes.
Oh.
I love that.
Mhm.
Now I'm not a basketball truther, so I don't know who this
so
is.
cool, the famous. Yes, I love it.
And it has this interaction,
It's so cool.
the ring.
Bonus points for anybody who knows which Denver Nuggets player this is, because I don't.
I have no idea.
I know, but the face is so good. I love it.
Yes, it's a really great design and the 3D effect is really well done.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Yeah.
Joystick? or
Gotta be,
planes?
right?
What
Could
do you
be.
think?
I think it's joysticks just because of the ears.
Yeah, it can be joystick. Can be joystick.
Okay, let's go to the file.
Oh yeah, here's moment of truth.
Here it is.
Ooh, I don't see joystick.
Yes,
Ah, yeah,
they,
Dang
I
it.
see joystick, yeah,
They-
I see
they
it.
are here. Ah, okay.
I know,
Has-
but this is, yeah, no, yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
Okay.
A joystick the size of the artboard. Interesting.
yeah, but because use the joystick for the follow the cursor, and I guess use for
Hmm. In both
it's all the
directions.
formation in timeline. Yeah,
Interesting.
nice.
it's interesting that it's made this way. I thought it was constraints.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't thought about the possibility of being made with joysticks.
Yeah,
I really like the 3D effect of joysticks. Ever since I did that Star Wars thing and made the X-Wing, I'm
Yeah.
like fully converted to the 3D effects on the joysticks. Is so nice.
I gotta try it.
And that's it.
nice.
Well, what a great collection. Speaking of which, great collection. We got a great collection of chat messages. Let's go through them. Okay, so we did that one. Now, here's a long story. I'll break it down for you. I started playing with Rive in 2022 after discovering the possibilities and remembering Flash a lot. Now, this user goes on to say that it's a little bit expensive in Brazil. that they want to learn it, and they'll try it again in the future. Now, somebody did chime in and remind them that we do have a free tier that you can use and learn Rive through, so you don't have to pay to actually learn how to use it and get comfortable with it. And then when you're ready, you can actually like switch over to the paid subscription to get all your stuff exported and get all that stuff going. So definitely try that out, and we're happy that you like Rive. And
Yeah.
the Brazils thing is wild. I saw a video on YouTube the other day talking about pretty much this exact thing. It was like an ex Blizzard Q&A guy, and now he makes games, and he was talking about this exact scenario. So random that popped up. Okay, here's a question. Now, I think we might do this at the end because we might have time. Hey, I'm pretty new to Rive. Can it do a counting numbers animation somehow? Thank you. The answer is yes. You can do it manually. And then, Zach, correct me if I'm wrong, we could also do it dynamically at runtime, where we put in an animation where when you click on it, the number does something, and we expose the number, like the text field to you, and you can change that at runtime.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. You could also technically do it with a combination of text and like state machine input. I don't know. There's so many ways to try and tackle this, depending on how. If
maybe
you
at the end we'll show how you can set this up, and then we'll show the. I don't know if we'll do the runtime part of it, but we'll show how you'd set it up for that. All right. Better than Lottie or not? Who wants to take that one?
I will say better than Lottie.
Me too.
Eh,
I'd second that.
Better.
So
it has more features. I
there
think,
you go.
And more capabilities. They're just like made for different things.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the bottom line. Is that Lottie's?
It depends.
Well, there's also that too. But yeah, there's a lot of things that you get out of Rive that you don't get with Lottie. Like there's animation mixing. You can have the same animation playing. Like you can have looping animations that are playing as you're doing something, and then have that thing react, and also have looping animation. There's a lot of really cool stuff that you get using Rive over Lottie. Now, I will say this. After Effects has a lot of really cool effects that you can use. So there's that with Lottie. Now the file size is going to be really big because you're basically just making video files. But smaller file size with Rive, and yeah, you get to use the state machine.
I will add the better part of Rive is the ability to make interaction and try it yourself.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can do that in After.
Yeah, I think we have a blog about this in our blog repository of why people make the comparison and just kind of some differences to consider. So you can check out rive.app/blog for that.
That's a good one. Let's see. Oh, this user's here looking for a replacement to. I don't know if this is Spline. Maybe Spine. Could be Spline. I guess there is a Spline and a Spine. And actually, speaking of that, there was a question about that in Discord. Okay, yeah. The guy who was talking about the Brazil problem was Pirate Software. Not a sponsor, has no idea we exist, but I do like his YouTube content. He's a really interesting guy. Talks a lot about just game development in general, and just kind of the economics behind games and design philosophy and all this stuff. So it's really good. Okay, couple of questions. All right, one thing that I wanted to talk about just for a couple minutes here. I think we would not planned. We can just. Actually, hang on. One question. I think it was asked in Discord, but missed the answer. Is there any way to embed a Rive animation into an email?
No idea.
I don't know. Right?
You, if it's exported as a GIF, you probably could. But like for interaction, no, because a lot of like email servers and providers will disable JavaScript, and so that makes it kind of a non-starter for using like the runtimes. But yeah, GIFs probably work, or links to your page with a Rive animation. That's kind of a way to kind of go around that.
Now, unfortunately, many of us are trained to never click on a link that's sent in an email. So, here's another great question. I'm pretty new to Rive, but I've seen amazing, crazy, interactive stuff from it. I'm keen on learning it. How can I start? Are there any resources to start with? Let me tell you, there's a bunch. One of which Pedro and I have been working on together for the last, 6 months or something like that. Yes. We started a Rive 101 course on YouTube. It's on our YouTube channel. It breaks down all of the different features that we have. Granted, some of them are still missing. We've been really busy the past, I would say, month trying to get things together before the holidays. So we're going to fill those in eventually. So once you get done with Rive 101, we've been recording. Oh, great. And he even posted the link in chat. Once you get done with Rive 101 and you understand the basics, then there's a lot of projects that we've done over the years in the Rive Unplugged playlist. And, there's a lot of different things that you can look at. There's the use cases. There's a ton of different videos where you can just sort of build up. So, go through Rive 101 first. If you need more help than that, make sure you look up the Rive guide or the docs, whatever we're calling those. And you can find that at help.rive.app. And that also will talk you through all the features. And then, pick a little project on Rive Unplugged and try to go through that and just keep going. And then also go to the community. Check out community files. You can download those to your account. You can look at them, see how they're set up. And that's another really helpful way to get started. Okay, we do have there was another comment about Spine, and there was a question that came in about Spine the other day that I want to talk about here. But before we do that, here's what I want to go over. There was a tutorial request for talking about best practices around working in Rive. Now, we don't have a tutorial around this, but since the majority of the design side of things are here, I just wanted to kind of have like a little bit of a discussion around what we think are the best practices, especially when you're working on a file that you plan to send to somebody else, or plan on doing future iterations with. So this comes from Rachel in Discord, and I'll just briefly cover what they're asking. Hey team, something I would love to have covered in a tutorial or a future live Rive episode. Oh, well, I didn't read that part, so conveniently we're doing it here. Is best practices to bake into your flow. As with all creative tools, when you're in the middle of figuring it out, it can get messy. It's true. Are there things you've noticed, even internally, when you open a coworker's file that you either feel panic or relief that something that they've done or haven't done? So let's start with that. When you open, for all of us, when you open somebody's file, what do you like to see? What do you hate to see?
I like to see order. Order for me is order that for me is not depend of the tool, depend of the person. Names and groups.
Name.
Name
Group
everything.
everything. Name everything because it's more easy to find. If you have a long tree, but have names and groups, and everything is inside to a group, it's more easy to find something that is everything is in the same level without names. This is the more faster option.
Yeah, that's a good one. And if you want to take it a step further, something that I haven't been doing a lot of, but I'd like to start really trying to make it a habit to doing this, is using the tags that we just introduced a few months ago. Tags are really, really helpful because you can set up the controls and set up tags for only the controls that the person that you're handing it off to need. And then they don't have to worry about anything else. They can just filter it by those tags and have all that stuff right there. So that's another thing.
Yeah, you can name your controls with tags. It's more easy to find the controls. Or you can name maybe the important part of this file. I don't know, something that you want to the other animator or other designer can find easily. Tag too. Yeah. This is great.
Another, I mean, even beyond just groups and layers, naming those things, your animations. Make sure that you're naming those animations in a clear way that just says what, because I'm assuming you're going to put this into a state machine. Just put a name on it that describes sort of what it does. Is it the idle state? Is it the idle from run state? Is it whatever that state is? Make sure you name that too. And that way, sorting through the state machine and and trying to diagnose all that stuff gets a little bit easier.
The same with inputs and listeners. And
Folders. Put them in, put the stuff, organize it into folders. Just try to be more organized especially when you're handing it off to somebody, and even for yourself. Because if you walk away from a file for a month or two and then you come back and you didn't do any of that stuff,
exactly.
Let me tell you, it's a nightmare. So yeah, I think that is the big thing, is just try to be more organized with things. That's the main thing. There was I often want to clean up a file before posting it to the community, but I feel so out of my comfort zone creating it in the first place that I don't even know where to start other than chunking unused inputs and listeners. Okay, yeah. So I think that fully answers the question. Just try to get more organized. And yeah, Jeff makes a good point. Nested artboards for any repeated animations and elements.
Yeah,
that's really good too. And name the artboards so that you know what each component of the artboard does. And one thing that we're starting to sort of get into, since we're starting to work on bigger projects together with lots of different artboards. One thing I'm trying to do is, like, since we don't have any way to show the links between the artboards, is just like, if you built an artboard with a bunch of nested artboards, make sure those nested artboards are next to the artboard that they're getting nested into, so that you don't have to go all over the place to find that stuff.
That is helpful. Yeah.
Now, Zach, from a developer's point of view, what do you hate when we do, and what do you like when we do?
Hate is a strong word.
What do you get scared of when you see it?
So there's a few things. I've actually been trying to write up, whenever I get free time, this like Rive for Devs page that I think would be really great to put on our help docs, because I don't think devs need to understand everything in the Rive editor, and just knowing like the bits to pick out will be super helpful. But anyway, definitely all the things that you mentioned. So like when I'm looking at a bigger file that some of y'all have created, looking at the artboards, sometimes like the main artboard that I need to pull in that I'm going to be using at runtime, if it's called like main, or it's just larger by default, like the largest thing there, and it's like, okay, cool. I know that's the thing I need to run. Compared to like any like nested artboard or something, and that's been helpful. Other things that are nice, listeners. If there's like a slew of listeners, and they all like in the listeners tab, if they all say like rectangle or like circle or something, because that's just like the default name for when you're connecting a listener to a shape or something, that's a little tricky to find where it comes from. And I think we're working on some tooling to try and make that a little easier visually, to kind of make that connection. And then sensical input names. So like Booleans having a convention of like is something, or number inputs. I know we've like naturally over time, because we've worked together for a while now, like we have our conventions that we've kind of just, we're in sync on. Like if it's prepended with the word num, and then something else, then it makes it sensical. Like, oh, okay, yeah, this is a number input meant to do X, Y, Z. And yeah, I think that's generally helpful. Just finding like immediately when I open the file, like what is the main artboard? What is the main state machine? What are my main inputs? And the other things I can try and find from there, like the listeners, what they're attached to, and all that good stuff.
Cool. I think that's a lot of the best practices. If you're thinking of any, what do you got, JC?
I have one more. Yeah, and I guess the more difficult part is the draw order, because when we use the draw order, it's so difficult to know what is the target because we change the position. No? So what I normally do is name everything. So when I use the target, I have the name. But in the name of the draw order, you can add a name. There I put, for example, is over this part or is below this part. So I put a note about what is the position of this element. So when I check the draw order, what is this shape, I can find more easily if I add this node. No? So it's good because you have the name of the shape and you can add a note about is over the leg or below to the leg or whatever. So yeah,
that's a good one. All right. Well, if nobody has anything else, I'm gonna make a mental note. Okay, I just made it to post this in Discord to that question. All right, I think that was good. Here's another question that probably won't take as long to talk about, but it's come up a couple times. Hey, everyone. I'd like to ask a question that might not be the right place, but here it goes. It's always the right place. What would you say are the main differences between Rive and Spine 2D? I have experience with Spine, and it's becoming old, and there are many hoops that you have to jump through to be production ready. What pipeline improvements does Rive bring versus Spine, and should I consider it for my next Unity projects with multiple skeletal animations? Thank you in advance for your help. Okay. I would say that you get one of the main benefits that you get out of Rive, and I think they outlined it here. Spine's getting old. They're not getting as many updates. We're new. We're constantly getting updates. One of the biggest benefits that you get from Rive is the state machine. So all those actions that you're doing, the jumps, the attacks, the hits, all that stuff, you can put that into your state machine. See how all those animations actually go together. I know if you've used Spine or other animation tools and you bring it to Unity and it gets hooked up in the mechanism, you probably already know that, like, man, I forgot to key this one thing. So like the arm gets stuck up like this after the character jumps or whatever. It takes a while to diagnose that. And with the state machine, not only do you get to work on putting how all the character motions actually work, you can test it and make sure that all of those different actions actually go together and blend together correctly. I would say one thing that Spine has that Rive doesn't have, because Spine is specifically designed for 2D character animation, they have the tools like the weight painting and like auto generate meshes and stuff like that. Weight painting is really good. I'm not a big fan of auto generate mesh. I think it usually generates a really bad mesh. But that's something that we'll have in the future is the weight painting. JC, I know you've used Spine before. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I agree with you in everything. Spine still have some tool that is good. They have now physical too. Auto physical, you animate the character and the hair can move automatically. Something that we had in Flare, and we are going to add and Rive too. But yeah, the most important part is the state machine, the interaction, the size of the file, the possibility to animate vectors in Rive, and mix raster and vectors. Runtimes, I know Spine have runtime too. I don't know the old runtime they have. I don't know if it's the same or who have more or whatever, but yeah, I think the for me the most important part is Rive is designed for this, for interaction real time, and this is the big thing. Yeah.
Anybody else use Spine and have any opinions on the difference? No? Yeah. Right now we're mostly focused on UI style updates and stuff like that. There are other things coming, but in the future, once we get everything, a lot of those features, like right now we're working on layout constraints and some of that other stuff. Once all that's done, we'll make sure that the character side of things gets addressed. All right. Couple more questions. I want to do 2D art with Rive in my part-time as a hobby because I'm really interested instead of wasting my time. Productivity, like that. Please tell me where to start and some kind of roadmap. All right. We covered this, so we'll cover it one more time. Pedro and I put together a playlist called Rive 101 that goes through all of the basics of Rive, all the different features we have, and how to use them all. We also have the Rive docs. It's basically the same thing. It's just in text form. So if you're a reader, read through that. But if you're like me, you don't really like to read too much. That's a lie. I do like to read, but sometimes I'd just rather watch a video. You can watch Rive 101. Once you're done with Rive 101, there's lots of different projects and things like that on the Rive YouTube channel, specifically in the God, I have forgotten the name of this 3 times. Rive Unplugged. The Rive Unplugged playlist has a lot of different projects in it that you can check out. There's a lot of creative sessions that are in the live tab that you can check out. Lots of different projects you can look at to learn from. And you can also go to the community and download files of things that you want to try to recreate to see how they're built, what states they're using, how the characters are rigged, how the buttons are rigged, all that stuff. You can check all that stuff out. Yeah, as far as a roadmap goes, I will tell you the next couple things coming. One is layout constraints that's being worked on currently. There's some UX design things that are still being ironed out with all that. And then we'll start testing that, and then we'll get it out to y'all as soon as we can. That will likely be sometime in the new year. I don't think it's going to drop before the end of the month. What else are we working on right now? I think improvements to the Unity runtime. I think.
Yeah.
We just had a job posting about the about Unreal. So we're working on trying to get the Unreal runtime going. I'm trying to think of any other editor updates that we might be having that we've talked about. No, it sounds like that's probably it for right now. There's other things coming, but we just can't. I guess one thing that we have talked about is scripting. Scripting is one of the next big things that's coming, but that's a little bit further down the line. We're still in sort of like the design phase of all that, trying to figure out what exactly scripting is going to be in Rive. What else? I feel like there's one more thing. Oh, we get asked about it all the time. Blurs, glows, drop shadows. The work on that stuff hasn't started yet, and that's because we're still working on getting the renderer everywhere, the new renderer. And so once that drops, you can expect work on those effects to begin. Hopefully that answers your question.
Go to our Discord.
Yeah, that
If
too.
you have question and you want to show what you're doing, you can there. In Discord you can see all the things we add to the tool, all the fixes, so you have a lot of information there.
Perfect. Okay, now there's 2 more questions. I'm going to let somebody else take this one because I'll be right back.
Okay, cool. Can Rive run on a mini computer like a Raspberry Pi? It would be cool to make something like a robot face animation and install it in a little toy. That'd be cool. I don't know. I mean, I've never thought about that.
I guess
Uh,
no.
What is Raspberry Pi?
This is the small computer.
Yeah, and you could, I think you program it with like C++. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know too much about the Raspberry Pi, but you would need some kind of like renderer to hook up with the like C++ runtime. Maybe like, yeah, and then I don't know. It's never come up before, so I'm not actually quite sure. It'd be really cool though. I mean, if you're like hacking and tinkering with like little hardware.
Okay.
Cool.
Next.
Yeah.
This future variables on the roadmap.
Variables.
What do you think?
Maybe could you say more about variables? Because we have some plans for like attaching data to drive different properties in Rive. But this might be totally something different. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what variables is.
Is variables like the thing that Figma has? But variables is basically like states in a state machine, right? I don't know. I've never used it, so I have no idea.
I don't know.
The ability to store certain color values or numbers and assign them to multiple elements.
Oh, so like,
Okay.
This sounds like something that would come with data binding,
yeah.
like a pick whip.
Yeah, and you'll be able to, yeah, exactly, associate values that you feed into a Rive file to certain properties, drive them with data dynamically at runtime, whatever that may be. We're still planning that out, but I think this is probably what you're going to be looking for, and it is very much on the roadmap.
All right. Can Rive be a tool used for making 2D animation videos?
Yes. Yes, but the idea is Rive is designed to create interactive animation. But you can create animation to the animation. You can export in video. You can export in image sequence or GIF. But yeah.
Yeah, so like the main tooling is built around interactivity.
Yeah.
And so right now we don't have the types of things like you would find in After Effects because all of that stuff is built for video. You're going to render that stuff out, and so you don't really care about the file size of it all. You just want to make sure that it looks as cool as possible, and you're doing all kinds of wild stuff. And Rive is specifically built for interactivity, while keeping in mind trying to keep your files small, dynamically changing the asset at runtime. So we don't have all of those different like features that you find in a video editor. But at the same time, you do get things like with the state machine. If you've built a character, and let's say you set up a state machine that had all kinds of actions in it and face control and stuff like that, you could then make a bunch of those characters, put them into a scene, and actually use the state machine to control everything instead of having to go and animate bit by bit with the bones. That's one possibility.
But we have for 2D animation, you can use joystick. We have different tool constraint that you can create the read of your character and animate. But yeah, it's true that all the parts of the machine, you have a lot of possibility to create interaction. But for the question, yes, you can create 2D animation without problem and exporting.
Pedro, what do you think? I know you've done a lot of, you were using a lot of Toon Boom Harmony.
But what about Toon Boom Harmony? I mean,
I don't know. Like, how do you think Rive stacks up against something like Toon Boom that's specifically made for that
For
kind
me,
of?
the main difference is if you want to try drawing. I mean, and in this case, Rive is more similar to After Effects, where there is no a brush you cannot draw, or a pencil you cannot draw. If you want to make like traditional animation, you need another thing. But if you want to learn motion and for example, rigging animation, cutout, and this kind of animation, Rive is perfect for that. In the end, it's always, I mean, once you learn animation, you can translate that knowledge to another tool. So it's not a real problem. So I always recommend to start with the tool you have or that you find easy to use.
All right. Well, it's 12 o'clock. I think it's time to get out of here. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Quick housekeeping before we go. As a reminder, we had the live stream this week. We will live stream next week, but the week after that, the week of Christmas, we will be not here. We will be gone. We will be vacationing. JC will be in the Maldives. Laura will be, I don't know. I'm making
No.
stuff at this point. That's
You're
not
going to
true.
the Maldives?
That's not true. I made that up. I lied. He caught me. All that to say, we
Sounds
will
good.
not be
Sounds
here.
good.
But tomorrow we do have 2 live streams. There's the Spanish live stream at 10 a.m. That'll be JC, Laura, and Pedro. And at the same time, Zach will be doing a creative session on out-of-band assets, making a cat wall that you can change all the images of the cats in their picture frames. So that'll be at the same time tomorrow. So be sure to check that out. If you're not a part of the Discord, make sure you join the Discord to continue asking questions, reporting bugs, all that good stuff. Other than that, I think that's it. Did I forget anything?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Thanks for joining, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.